Hey everyone, this is Ayman, and today I'm going to do a recap on a few of the trades that I've taken today. I'm not going to explain every single trade that I've taken, but for you to know, I've taken 3 trades. The first trade was on BTU, that was a loser. The second trade was on mRNA, that was a winner. And the third trade on ABNB, that was also a winner. If you are interested in the trades that I'm taking and my daily progress, weekly progress, make sure to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @AmanBBT. Now, I'm making the recap today because a few people in today's trade review session actually asked me about how do I determine my targets when I'm going with the trend and when I'm going for reversals. There is a simple formula that I'm following, and I'm going to be explaining that formula today, looking at some of the trades that I have taken. Now, one of the winners that I've taken today was mRNA, and you could see that on mRNA I actually held on to the trade for a longer time, right? While the other trade, which is ABNB around here, I held on to it slightly lower, less than I would normally hold on my usual trades. That was around, I don't know, $2 move, and on my mRNA that was somewhere around $7 moves, right? While the ATR difference is not so huge here, the ATR is somewhere around $12, and I held it for $7, which is over 50% of the ATR. While on ABNB, the ATR is around $7.5 or $8. Not that huge of difference, right? 30% difference. But in terms of PNL, I held it here only for a $2 move. Now, first of all, let's go to the thought process. Why did I choose mRNA today, and why did I play it to the short side? The reason I chose mRNA is the daily and the weekly chart. You could see that on the daily chart, we're in a clear downtrend. Then at this stage around here, let me get the epic pen, that will be easier to explain. You can see that we're in a clear downtrend, but then at this stage, we're going up and we're making a higher high and a higher low. So at this stage, I'm slightly concerned because around here, we might actually be forming a reversal. And what could happen after that is a higher low, exactly like happened around here, and a higher high, and maybe we'll slowly be reversing or pulling back bigger. The weekly chart at this stage, which is this stage, was also bullish. So I didn't feel like shorting it, especially that we had room all the way up here. We could have pulled back all the way up there. Now, the last few days, you could see that we dropped down, pulled back, and dropped down. So the trend kind of changed. Instead of us making higher highs and higher lows, we started making lower highs and lower lows, resuming the original trend. Previous day, after those double hammers, we did sell off nicely, and today I expected a continuation of the sell-off. The only thing though I didn't like about mRNA is the fact that there is a strong level around here. You can see that there is a hammer which it held to the penny on the previous day, and the fact that on the weekly chart we are sitting closer to this hammer, which tells us that it could also bounce out of it or maybe bottom closer to it. So that was a little bit of a concern to me, and I still was willing to hold it to that level or maybe for the break of that level. On the 60-minute chart, the other thing that made me also concerned about it is the fact that, let me show you this, the fact that we had small range around here. And I was afraid that today, since we gapped up and we are above this range, what could happen if I play it to the short side is a small drop around here, and the previous level would start acting as a support, and then would bounce and go with the original trend, exactly like what happened around here. So I told myself, all right, I mean, based on the weekly chart and based on the daily chart, I'm more short biased. Yes, the 60-minute chart is a little bit of a concern, but if I take it to the short side and then it bounces, I can always exit at break even. And yes, the daily is a concern, but that could also act as a target for me. Now, I couldn't find a clear level. Usually when I'm playing these type of stocks or these type of plays, once the stock goes against me, I enter with a limit order. Like you could see on my losing trade around here on BTU. Price is dropping down and I'm getting in with a limit entry while the price drops down. But I do that only when there is a clear level of support that I could rely on. On mRNA, I didn't have that clear level of resistance that I could rely on, so I didn't enter this trade with a limit order. I decided to let the price go closer to the level that I'm interested at, and that level is from yesterday here. Not a strong level, so not worth putting a limit order. And if it behaves well around this level, and you can see that around this level, it's starting to get sold off. And then we're having a new 1 minute low. Then I'd be getting into it with a manual entry and a tighter stop loss. Now the way I enter those is I want to see at least 3 consecutive 5-minute candles because it's just simple rule that I'm usually going through. After 1, 2, 3, there is always a pullback. After 1, 2, 3, there is usually a pullback. Not necessarily a drop, but at least a pullback before a continuation. So I want the 3 candles to give me a confirmation before I jump into the trade. Had the wicks played it to the short side. Now the target. How do I determine the target? When I'm going with the direction of the trend, with the direction of the bigger time frames, I usually target anything between 70 to 100% of the ATR. Why is that? Because with the trend, you could expect that the daily candle would make the whole move into the direction of the overall trend. That's my target. Now the ATR around here is $12. 50% of the ATR would be around $6, right? And 80% of the ATR, 75% of the ATR would be somewhere around $9, right? Now take a look at this. What is the high around here? The high around here is at 147.50, and my target was at 139.50. That is around $8, which is closer to the $9. Why didn't I hold it to the 80% exactly of the ATR? I didn't hold it because the drop was parabolic. You could see that it is a 1, a 2, a 3. It is a parabolic reversal closer to the low of the day, increasing volume, exhaustion volume, which tells us that the stock would actually pull back or could actually reverse. So I was concerned and I started taking a partial, another partial. I see that it's heavy. It doesn't want to make it to my target. So let me just exit all out at the profit, which is 6 hours, because I knew that after 3 candles, we could make a pullback. And after the pullback, one of the 2 things could happen. Either an M shape and a continuation, which is a reverse ABCD pattern type C. You can find it in the webinars in BBT. Or what could happen is an ABCD pattern to the upside. And since I didn't like the weekly and I didn't like the daily, and I knew that these could act as a level, as a support where it could bounce from. And of course, levels, sometimes they are ranges. It's not necessarily getting into it. It could just simply get closer to it. And I had the confirmation of volume around here. I just decided to exit all out of my position. Now let's go quickly and check ABNB. Why did I held on to this one lower, slightly lower or less than I did on mRNA? Because the overall trend on ABNB, you could see the weekly chart is strong above all the moving averages, and the daily chart is overall is also strong, right? It is an A, B, C, D. We're in an uptrend and we're going up. Now, since we are going up, why do I play it to the short side? Why don't I play it to the long side? One reason. What is the ATR? The ATR is $8, and the stock made a move previous day close 169.70 all the way to 176.70. How much is that? That's around $7, right? Which is almost the full ATR. The ATR is $8. We did a $7 move. Now, if we make the whole ATR move intraday, I could expect a stock to pull back, but of course I do not rely on that alone. Only having a full ATR doesn't mean that I'm going to take a stock and I play to the short side, or I'm going to playing it for a reversal. The next signal I had is the daily chart and the weekly chart. You could see that on the weekly chart we're having a head and shoulders pattern around here, an ugly one, but you could see that there is a level around here. And this level, the blue line, coincides with the ATR. So we're having an ATR, which is $7 fully, $7 to $8. We're having a level around there, and recently on the daily, there is a channel around here. There is a channel on the daily chart also around the ATR. There are also selling pressure wicks. Red candles, red candles, red candles, closer to the high. All this is telling me that we could bounce out of this level. Now, will I just simply short it once it gets into the level? Definitely not. I need to see a parabolic reversal. Like around here, the stock is also hitting the level. Why don't I short it? Because it didn't give me the criteria for the entry. And the criteria for the entry for me is a parabolic reversal. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, even 5 candles. I'm definitely expecting a pullback. Not 100% happening, but most likely going to happen. What am I doing now? I'm playing it to the short side and I'm setting my short, my stop loss, not at the wick, slightly below the wick, just to avoid the slippage. Now, what is my target when I'm going against the trend? My target when I'm going against the trend is 30% of the ATR. Why 30%? If you check my ABCD pattern webinar, I mentioned to you that I do not play trend continuations. Stock making a move, making a pullback, and then a continuation. I will not play this continuation because the pullback here is small. The least pullback I want to see is a 30% pullback before the continuation. You could also check Fibonacci retracements if you are interested. We don't really need to get in depth into that. But what I love when I'm playing ABCD patterns, 30% pullback, 50% pullback, and 70% pullback, but at least 30%. And I'm going for the lowest. Now, what is the ATR around here? 8.5. We are going for 30%, so we are going for $255 pullback. Now we know that our target is 255, 30% of the ATR. Where do we calculate it from? From the high of the day. What is the high of the day? 176.90, 177, let's say. Minus 177. What is our target? Our target is approximately 174.50. And what did I target? 174.60, a little bit less just to be safe, which is 30% of the ATR. If the stock, for example, today was selling off and I played it to the long side, closer to the low, I wouldn't have targeted 30% of the ATR. I would have targeted 70 or 80% because I'm going with the trend. Because I'm playing a parabolic reversal or a pullback or intraday reversal against a strong intraday move, my target is 30% of the ATR. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and the recap. Sorry, it was a little bit long, but it's full of information. So I hope you find some use for this information I gave you. I would really appreciate if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and mostly comment. I mean, if you have any questions, don't have any questions, comment is always appreciated. It motivates me to do better. Thank you everyone for watching this recap. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.